Hey everybody, my name is Artresa. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing tips on how to teach your baby sign language. I am a mom to an almost 2-year-old, and I personally think it's one of the best things that I could have done. You may be asking yourself, is it really necessary? Do you have to teach your baby sign language? And the answer is no, you don't have to, but it's extremely beneficial. And let me tell you why. So when your baby, whether it's an infant or a toddler, before they are able to verbally communicate with you, verbally speak, they can communicate with you through sign language. And this cuts down on a lot of frustration and can save you a couple of temper tantrums or two. So teaching your baby sign language allows communication at an early age. I will give you an example. I was changing my daughter Mia on the changing table. She was crying, and at first I thought maybe because her diaper needed to be changed, which it did. I changed her diaper and she was still crying, and then she signed to me milk. So I knew, like, okay, after I finish changing your diaper, I'll go ahead and give you milk. Also, I found it helpful around eating time because she would tell me when she wanted more of something, or she'll tell me when she's all done. So sometimes when your baby's crying, you're trying to figure out, what does she want? Is she done eating? Does she want to get out the high chair? Does she want more of something? Teaching them sign language at an early age helps them to communicate, and it reduces frustration and tantrums. And that's what we want, right? Yes. Okay, so when should you start teaching your baby sign language? I've read different articles. Some say 4 months, some say 6 months. So I would say somewhere between 4 and 6 months. Probably the younger the better. But don't get discouraged if you're watching this video and you have a toddler. I do have a friend of mine who started teaching their baby sign language after the first birthday, and it's still extremely beneficial to them, because as long as they're not verbally speaking to you yet, it's still a good time to teach them. That way they can communicate. But if your baby is an infant and you have time, I mean, the earlier the better. I started teaching my daughter around 4 months is when I started, but keep in mind that your baby won't sign back to 10 to 14 months. I believe Mia, my daughter, started signing back around 11 months, right before her birthday. She signed back, so like if I told her eat, she would say eat back to me, but she really didn't initiate the signing like when she's hungry to tell me she wants to eat until a little bit after her first birthday, if that makes sense. So which signs do you start off with? I would say start off with signs that you use in everyday life with your baby. So the first sign I taught my daughter is milk. So, you know, obviously you feed your baby multiple times a day. You feed them milk. So milk is a good one to start with, and this is a sign for milk. Also, more. More was very important because, you know, when at feeding time, you want more. So that's a good one. And another good one is all done. Because your baby will want to tell you when they're all done, and not just with food, with anything. So it starts off, for me, it started off with food, but when my daughter is done with anything, whether it's playing, whether she wants to get out the car seat, anything, she says all done. Another good one is sleepy. So, you know, sometimes they're crying and they're tired. Nap time may be a little bit earlier than you expected. So if they can tell you sleepy, I've also seen some people do night, but for us, we did sleepy. So the next one is drink. I didn't use this one because, I don't know, I didn't start using this one. And then Mia started saying wah-wah around like 9 or 10 months. But this is the sign for drink. So just like you're putting a cup to your mouth. And I believe this is water. 3 fingers here. And this is eat. Just putting your fingers together here and going to your mouth. Eat. So those are the signs that I would start with, because those are the signs that you use every day for baby. Later, I advanced to once Mia got those down, later I advanced to bath, thank you, please, and poop, which was very helpful with us starting potty trained. And side note, if you want to know how to potty train your baby before 2 years old, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I will have a video on that coming in the next couple of weeks. So another thing to keep in mind when you're teaching your baby sign language is that the signs may not look exactly like you show them, but you will begin to know what your baby is talking about. So for example, this is the sign for all done. My daughter just goes all done, one hand and a little sideways. So I know that that is her sign for all done. Also, more is here, and my daughter goes more with her fist, but I know what she's talking about. Also poop, when I said this was poop, so this could be a little bit advanced for a baby to like know to put the thumb in the cup hand and pull down. So she goes poop here. So yes, you'll begin to know what your baby is trying to do, but just know that it won't look exactly like the sign, or it could, but chances are it won't look exactly like the sign should look. And if you want to keep this going and teach your baby more signs, you can always just Google American Sign Language for whatever it is that you're looking for, and it will come up. You can even you could do it on Google, it will show you on YouTube. I have the pleasure, and I just really like, I told you that my cousin's an interpreter, I like to ask her and she sends me videos because it's just a little bit more personal. But yes, go ahead. So that's where I learned my sign language, but go ahead and Google. So how do you teach your baby sign language? So I'm gonna give you tips on how I taught my daughter sign language. Babies are really smart. So what you need to do is, the first thing is, as you're saying whatever word it is, go ahead and do the sign. So when you're saying milk, make sure you do milk. When you're saying eat, make sure you do eat. Whatever the sign is, make sure you always do it with the word or with the action. So as you're giving your baby a bottle for milk, or if you're breastfeeding your baby, okay, it's time for milk. You want milk? Here's your milk. Give the bottle, give the breast. For eat, so I started my baby on solids, 4.5, 5 months. Every time I would put her in the high chair to eat. Okay, Mia, time to eat. Let's eat. Putting the food in front, the spoon in front of her, eat, so that she knows that that's what she's doing. She's eating. And do you want more? So if she completed everything, or even if she didn't finish everything, if you know I was feeding her for a while, before I give her another spoon, do you want more? Oh yes, you want more? Give it to her. No, no more, take it away. So they're understanding what the sign is. Before I would put her to sleep, when we did our bedtime routine or the nap routine, I would say sleepy, sleepy. So she would associate this with going to sleep. Like, okay, so now it's time to do the nighttime routine and bedtime routine. Okay, so this is sleepy. Same with all done. Okay, all done, remove her from the high chair. All done, take the sippy cup away from her. Whatever it is, sorry, I'm doing it how my daughter does it, but all done, and then remove her from the situation or take it from the baby, so that they know that all done means, you know, no more, it's over. Okay, tip number 2 is to encourage them to sign as well. So this may apply for when they're a little bit older, maybe, you know, when they have good control of their hand movements. Go ahead and, you know, milk, maybe help them do milk. Put their hands together for more, like take their hands and put their fingers together and say more, you know, more, and lift their hands up, all done, just so they can get used to the movement and know that that's what you want them to do. Okay, and tip number 3 is to be consistent. This is something that you are going to have to do repeatedly. Repetition is going to be your friend with this. So I'm talking about every time you give that bottle or breast, you're saying milk. Every time you're going to feed them solids, you're saying eat. Every time you offer them more. This is something that you do on a daily, so that they can get it. Like with everything, you always hear consistency is key, and teaching your baby sign language is no different. Consistency is key. And the last tip I have is to just be patient. This is not something they're going to learn overnight, but I promise you it will be so rewarding. So just stick with it. Don't get frustrated if your baby's not signing back or someone else's baby is signing back before yours. Like as I stated, they can sign back between 10 and 14 months. That's a wide range. But just know that the more consistent you are, the more your baby will get it and will begin to sign back. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to communicate with our little ones at an early age. I highly recommend teaching your baby sign language. So I did this video because I did a reel on my Instagram showing my daughter Mia signing when she was, I think at the time, maybe she was about 12 months. And so many people wanted to know how I taught her and what signs did I teach first, and you know what made me want to. So that's why I created this video. If you want to check out the reel, I will link it in the description box below. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to learn more mom tips from me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also comment below and let me know, are you already teaching your baby sign language? Are you going to? If you are already teaching, what signs do you guys do? Did you make up signs of your own? I also heard people do this, like they'll make up some little hand gesture and then attach it to a word, and that's also okay. As long as you and your baby can communicate, that's great. One more tip too that will be helpful is you want to get everyone on board. Anyone in your home, any caregiver, obviously maybe not daycare is going to do it, but like your grandparents, aunts, uncles, if they're keeping your child, get them on board with the sign language that you're teaching your baby too, just to make sure everything is consistent. Okay, so thanks so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.